Hello students, how are you all? Hope you are safe and doing well at your home. I am Miss Edna Rodriguez from St. Paul's High School. Today we are going to learn the first chapter of history, the Indian subcontinent and history. The Indian subcontinent is a term mainly used for the geographical region surrounded by the Indian Ocean, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. All these countries are surrounded by the Indian Ocean. In this chapter, we are going to learn and study the correlation of the Indian subcontinent and history. Students, the entire lesson is mainly divided into 3 points. First, geographical conditions and history. Second, geographical features of India. Third, the Indian subcontinent. Let us move ahead and study each point in details. The first point is geographical conditions and the course of history. In the 5th standard, we saw that there is a close relationship between man and his environment. Environment means the surroundings in which a person lives. We get resources like water, food, energy, information and many more from our surroundings. We saw how the changes in the lifestyle of early man and his technology were related to the changes in his surroundings. We all know that the early man made stone tools and created fire out of resources available from the surroundings. And thereon we can see the changes to his lifestyle. We also studied the history of human civilization from the Stone Age to the agricultural civilization that flourished on the banks of rivers. You can also understand the same from the pictures on your screen. The left hand side picture is the lifestyle of the Stone Age and the right hand side picture reveals the agricultural civilization on the banks of rivers. So students, there is a continuous changes in human civilization from the Stone Age period. Place, time, society and individuals are the 4 major pillars of history. History cannot be written without of these 4 factors. Of these 4 components, place is related to geography or geographical conditions. In this sense, history and geography cannot be separated from each other. Friends, history is influenced by geographical conditions in many ways. Our diet, clothing, housing, occupations. In fact, all human life in any region depends on its geographical characteristics. I will explain you the same with an example. The life of the people in hilly regions is more difficult than that of people on the plains. Not much fertile land is available in the hilly regions. While in the plains, it is available on a large scale. That is why grains and vegetables are scarce in hilly areas. In comparison, people on plains get them in the sufficient measure. Hence, this has an impact on diet of the people. In hilly regions, people depend more on hunting and gathering for their food. The climate, rainfall, agricultural produce, flora and fauna of the region where we live are the sources of our livelihood. Here, flora means plant life and fauna means animal life. The lifestyle and culture of a region develops with their support. Human settlements have flourished wherever the means of living plentiful. You can see on your screen, over a period of time, there is a development into villages and towns. Sometimes, due to the degradation of the environment, drought, invasion, etc., lead to the scarcity of those means, people are forced to leave their settlement. Villages and towns become deserted. Likewise, we see many such instances in history. Thus, we see that there is a very close relation between history and geography. Students, we are done with the first point, that is geographical condition and history. Now we will study the second important point, is geographical feature of India. Our country India extends far and wide. At its north lie the Himalayas, to the east the Bay of Bengal, to the west the Arabian Sea, and to the south the Indian Ocean. Except for the island of Andaman Nicobar and Lakshadweep, the rest of the country is contiguous. Before 1947, today's Pakistan and Bangladesh were also part of India. The following regions are seen to be important when we look at the course of Indian history: the Himalayas, the plains of Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra rivers, the Thar Desert, the Deccan Plateau, the coastal region, the island in the seas. Now we will study the first region, that is Himalayas. The Hindu Kush and Himalaya ranges have created an impenetrable wall on the northern side of the Indian subcontinent. Here, impenetrable means impossible to pass through, means no one can pass through that wall created by Hindu Kush and Himalaya. This wall has separated the Indian subcontinent from the desert of Central Asia. There is a land route through the Khyber and Bolan passes in the Hindu Kush mountains. The trade route from China passed through Central Asia and reached Arabia. It is known as the Silk Route or Silk Road because silk was the main commodity exported to the Western countries using this road. The route through the passes was used many foreign invaders to enter ancient India. Many foreign travelers also came to India by this route. The second region is the plains of the Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra. The regions includes three big rivers, Sindhu, Ganga, Brahmaputra and their tributaries. This region extends from Sindh, Punjab in the west to the present-day Bangladesh in east. It was in the region that the earliest Indian civilization of Harappa and the later state and empire of ancient Indian emerged. The third region is the Thar Desert. The Thar Desert spread across Rajasthan, Haryana and some parts of Gujarat. A part of the desert lies in today's Pakistan. The desert has the Satluj River to its north, the Aravalli Mountains range to its east, the Rann of Kutch to its south, and the Indus Sindhu River to its west. The Ghaggar River that originates in Himachal Pradesh reached to the Thar Desert. It is known as the Hakra in Pakistan. The fourth region is the Deccan Plateau. The regions between the east and the west coast of India tapers off to the south. This region has the Arabian Sea to its west, the Indian Ocean to its south, and the Bay of Bengal to its east. A region thus bound by the sea on three sides is called a peninsula. A major part of the Indian peninsula is occupied by the Deccan Plateau. The mountain ranges of the Vindhya and Satpura are located to the north of the Deccan Plateau. The Sahyadri mountain ranges are to its west. They are also known as the Western Ghats. To the west of the Sahyadri, it is coastal range of Konkan and Malabar. The mountains on the eastern side of the Deccan Plateau are known as the Eastern Ghats. Deccan Plateau has fertile land where many post-Harappan agrarian culture flourished. Deccan Plateau was a part of the Maurya Empire, the largest in the ancient India. After the decline of the Maurya Empire, too, several other kingdoms and smaller empires continued to flourish in this region. The fifth region is the coastal regions. From the time of the Harappan civilization, ancient India had trade relations with the western countries. This trade was carried on by sea. Therefore, India had developed contact and interaction with the foreign culture and people at the seaports. Later on, land routes came to be used for the trade and transport, but the importance of the sea route did not diminish. The last region is the islands in the sea. Andaman and Nicobar are the Indian islands in the Bay of Bengal. Lakshadweep is a group of Indian islands in the Arabian Sea. The location of these islands may have been important in the ancient sea trade. The manuscript Periplus of the Erythraean Sea or Handbook of the Red Sea make a mention of Indian island. It has been written by an unknown Greek sailor. Students, we have completed two important points. Now let's move to the third point, that is the Indian subcontinent. The cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are in today's Pakistan. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and India together form the region known as South Asia. Considering the expanse and significance of India in this region, it is also known as the Indian subcontinent. The Harappan civilization had spread mainly in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. China and Myanmar, our neighboring countries, are not a part of South Asia or the Indian subcontinent. However, they had cultural and trade relations with ancient India. They have an important place in the study of ancient Indian history. Students, we have completed the entire lesson. Thank you.